Hi, it's Chrissy, and thanks for joining me at my YouTube channel today. This card that I'm going to show you how to make, I created for the Lawnscaping challenge block, so I will leave all the details in my YouTube description, so you can go ahead and check that out. We run challenges twice a month, and we also have inspiration pretty much every day on the blog, so we'll never run out of inspiration, especially to use any of your lawn fawn supplies. So to create this card, I actually decided that I was going to make the two balloons on vellum. I didn't want to use just regular white cardstock. I wanted them to be a little bit translucent. So you can see I grabbed a sheet of vellum that I had. It was just a scrap piece of paper. And I first dusted it off with a little bit of powder. I did this because when you emboss on vellum, for whatever reason, I guess it must be more staticky, the embossing powder really seems to stick to the vellum more than normal paper. So, and you can see even after doing the powder, I still have a little bit of powder that sticks on there. That's just the nature of the vellum. So I went ahead and I stamped it in Versamark watermark ink. Now, if you're not familiar with this ink, it gives like a watermark type feel. So it almost looks like you can hardly see it when you stamp it on the vellum. But if you were to stamp it like on a dark piece of paper, it would show up a little bit, just a little bit darker than that colored paper. So hence the watermark. So I added some white embossing powder, and then I went and I hit it with a heat gun to go ahead and activate the embossing. Then I just scraped a little bit away using a craft knife because, like I said, I did end up with a few little extra pieces of white in there. And then I was satisfied with the look I got. So I am using Spectrum Aqua markers to color these in. I actually am coloring on the back of the vellum. So I just used two different colors, like a blue and a yellow. I think it was called Aquamarine and Meadow. Excuse me. Like I said, I went on the back, and then that way if you kind of make a mistake or anything you can't see. And then I just blended it with a water brush. And I'm going ahead and I'm running this through my die cutting machine. There are coordinating dies for this. I forgot to mention the stamp set is called Blue Skies. And then the coordinating dies are called Lawn Cuts. And those are also called Blue Skies. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create my custom background. I know this is super fast. When I shot this video, it actually took me a really long time to do this for whatever reason. So I sped it up quite a bit. But I think that you kind of, get the deal on how it went. Some of the stuff I didn't really need to slow down. So I'm creating my own custom background. I'm using Distress Inks. And you can see that I have protected my surface. I'm using the Best Ever Craft Mat from Ken Oliver. And I kind of trounce it off onto that before putting it onto my paper. And that gets a little bit of the excess ink off. It makes it a little bit easier to blend. Now it looks kind of unblended right now. It actually, as the ink dries and as the more you blend it, it actually starts looking pretty nice. So just go ahead with a light hand when you're doing this. I recommend a circular motion. And it actually dries, it starts drying and it looks nicer. And then I just went ahead and I flicked a little bit of water on there. I wanted some splatters. Distress ink is great because when you add water to it, it reacts. So you can kind of see I have speckles on there now, and where the water hit, the color is gone. And so then I just went and I dried it with my heat gun. So now I have this die from Lawn Fawn again, and it's the Happy Birthday Border die. And oh, I'm flattening out, I should mention. The vellum curled quite a bit, so I went ahead and I flattened it out, running it through my Cuttlebug first. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to die cut the Happy Birthday out of the front panel of the card. That's what we're working on, the front panel. So I went ahead and I ran it through my die cutting machine, and initially I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I was just going to cut it and then piece it back together, just to kind of give it like a, I don't know, like a textured look. So just take it apart and then put it right back the way that it was. So it kind of pops out, but not really. But ultimately, I decided to die cut the Happy Birthday again in white. And then you'll see it's like off to the side. I didn't keep that die cut, and I also did not keep that side piece that came off. It just, I don't know, it looked a little bit cooler. I felt when I did it this way, it blended in just way too much. It just wasn't as noticeable as I wanted it to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a piece of scrap white cardstock through my Cuttlebug again. I'm die cutting it. You can use any die cutting machine. I just happen to use this one for my videos. And I wanted this in white. I decided that would make it pop a little bit. It would just be a little bit more exciting. I even thought about doing it in black, but then I thought the black might just be a little too harsh with the white background, and then those pretty soft, bright colors. Even though the white would have looked cool, I think it would have drawn a little too much attention to the sentiment. So the white is perfect. And like I said, I kind of went back and forth. Like I couldn't decide. Did I put that edge on there? Did I take it away? I think I went back and forth like 5 or 6 times. But then eventually I should say, I decided that I was just going to go with the white and leave that side off. So gluing this down, use really strong adhesive. With putting the distress ink on there and then, adding paper and this and that, it's going to buckle a little bit. So definitely make sure you have a strong adhesive. I'm just going ahead and I'm lining that stuff up. So I have the card on there. I have the panel on the card perfectly. I could have eyeballed it, but then it might not have lined up properly. So I put those other pieces back on, even though I wasn't necessarily going to use them, to help me align everything properly. So I ran that little die cut through my Xyron sticker maker. I love my sticker maker for intricate dies like this. Of course, you can go ahead. There are other options out there. There's the Ken Oliver Stick It, which is awesome too, because that makes everything like basically double-sided and sticky. But I didn't think ahead of time to use that, so that's why my sticker maker is being used. But it's so great because it gets in those little itty-bitty intricate areas, and it makes it so much easier to adhere things down. You don't have to deal with your tape runner or liquid glue getting all messy or anything like that. So like I said, sticker maker, stick it, anything that you can think of, go for it, whatever works for you. See, here I go again. I seriously could not decide. I didn't even realize how many times I went back and forth. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach the balloons. Now because I have colored them in, I can use my regular tape runner to adhere them. It's not showed through the vellum because it's dark enough, I guess. There are glues and adhesives out there that are made specifically for vellum. So by all means, if you have them, use them. I didn't have any on hand that I wanted to use. And like I said, it doesn't show. So my last step that I decided to do was I felt like I needed something extra. See, there I go again. And I decided I was going to add some sequins. So I just have some craft medley white sequins. I just adhere my sequins on using adhesive glue normally. Again, plenty of other things you can do. I just like using I have Kalal glue that I use, and it dries super clear, and that's just one of those things that's on my desk that's like always there, so I just grab it and use it. Other things I have, they're like out of sight, out of mind, so they don't get used. But that is the finished card. Thanks for stopping by my blog today. Don't forget to subscribe and check out Lawnscaping Challenges.